All right, guys, it's Kibbles and Bits back with another match for you today. We've got, on one of my favorite maps because I just love macro games, FXOqxc spawning here in the bottom right-hand corner. And his opponent, I'm going to let my co-casting partner here today, EonShiKeno, introduce you to the Zerg.
We've got Machine from Team Evil Geniuses. He's up in the top left part of the map, as is standard color pink. Machine loves being a pink Zerg.
All right, so how about that last game, Eon? What you think of the fact that we casted Game 3? I want to let this guy's bleed you guys. We actually casted Game 3 of that series as Game 1 because, well, you know, people make mistakes when they're numbering things, and well, we were the poor victims of said mistakes. So, what do you expect to see here at Game 2 between these guys? This is the game before last game, you know, so we did see really conservative style play out of Machine last game. So I'm wondering, you know, does QXC start off with something, you know, kind of cheesy, or what's going to go on here?
I don't know. I think we're going to see pretty much the same play out of both players. I haven't really seen Machine deviate from a standard play like almost ever. Like he'll never do something crazy like throw down like a proxy hatch in a Protoss base, for example, like that. So I think we're going to see almost an exact same play style out of Machine this game. QXC, more of a wild card. Not really sure what he's going to do.
All right, so yeah, that's one of the things I can definitely attest to. As I said, Eon here, he's got like over 500 games cast. I haven't seen any of QXC's ZVTs, but I do know you're definitely right about that. He definitely does have like an I don't want to say unorthodox, but like a morphing playstyle. You know, he's very adaptable.
Yeah, he's got an X factor, I guess you could call it, in his playstyle.
I like that, an X factor. But you know, from Machine, on the other hand, we're seeing pretty standard 15 hatch and scouting at the exact. You know, he sent that drone out at the exact same time. Yeah, quick scout out here, and it looks like a little high five going on there.
The SCV drone high five.
That's the best kind, you know, because like the drones have talons.
Yeah,
and SCVs have like the robot hands, so it sounds really. They're like clunk.
Unless it's the drill side, that's no fun. Because he's got the clamping, he's got the drill.
Yeah, that might hurt the drone. I wouldn't. That's like a really hard five that you get from your buddy. And it like leaves your hand red and swollen. You're like, you know how you like when your hand hurts, you know, from like a really hard five, you like put it in between your knees. You're like, ah. No, this SCV is totally not that badass. He's more of a builder kind of guy. He's building his bunker right now.
He's building his bunker, and one Marine and 2 Marines on the way. So
it's going to be quite a trip for them to get there. But I like how he put those Marines kind of close together, and so it almost looks like it's a 2-Rex, you know.
But once again, Machine making a spine crawl like at the drop of a hat. Like,
so quickly. Completely unnecessary. He
plays so safe.
Oh man, it's too safe. It's too safe.
I think it is. There's no way he would lose to any of that. So
you should make 4 Zerglings, which he's doing now. 4 Zerglings, and oh my god, and he already has 2 Zerglings. So he's got a total of 6 Zerglings and a spine crawler going down here.
Yeah, that spine crawler could have been a queen.
You've done a lot of Machines games, right?
Yeah.
Do I understand that correctly? So maybe Machine does he like lose to bunker rushes, you know, pretty frequently, and he feels like that's a big weakness of his. And
he just likes to play super safe, so that way he gets to the macro game and
gets too unnecessary.
Yeah, I think it's a little too safe if that's possible. But I mean, he hasn't lost yet, so he's still in it.
With Zerg, I gotta feel, you know, you can be too safe because every unit you make is at the expense of a drone. Whether, you know, that unit is, and poor control there for Machine, losing a Zergling kind of for no reason. Those other 2 in pretty low health, so QXC opting not to push with those 3 Marines. And honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised to see a little pressure, but that's because he's got 2 Hellions en route.
Yeah, and probably 2 more coming out after that. He's probably going to do maybe the exact same thing we saw last game. You know, do that little elevator
truck. Supply blocked at this moment, though, waiting for this command center to wrap up. So even letting a Zergling inside see exactly what's going on, that's what Machine Meat needs. We didn't see that last game, you know.
And Hellions getting into the main of Machine.
Did look like he got 2 drones there so far.
2 so far. Gonna get a third.
He's gonna be able to chase these around for a while. They're really, you know, 16 Zerglings on the way right now, but he doesn't have speed yet, and he's still a good ways away from being done. 30 seconds, in fact.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not
losing a Hellion there, though. He did not want that to happen, but he has another 2 Hellions sitting right outside the base. I'd love to see him run those up and hold position, behind those drones at the natural.
And there are a lot of Zerglings out there.
So QXC is going for the Blue Flame Hellions like we saw before, but now speed is completed. So QXC's got to be a lot more careful now. Managing to get a few Zergling kills in there.
Yeah, we have some nice defense out of Machine this game. 2 Spine Crawlers up, plenty of Zerglings. Shouldn't have to worry about any full frontal attack. He's just going to have to worry about that little elevator trick that I'm pretty sure we're going to see QXC do the exact same way again. He cannot afford to lose these Hellions, so I don't think we're going to see him overcommit anytime soon. He's just going to use them as defense, maybe try and pick off some creep tumors, just buying time until that medevac does get out, and he's probably going to elevate them into the natural expansion of Machine, where in the back where there are no Spine Crawlers.
Yeah, really take advantage of the way that this map is architected, where these Spine Crawlers have to be out in a pretty, they're very separate from each other because of the large access into the main. He's got to be careful that these Hellions, with this Blue Flame upgrade they're about to get, if they slip by into his main, he's going to lose a lot of drones.
And I gotta say, Machine has got really bad drone saturation. Look at his main, and then look at his expansion. Look how many drones are at his expansion, and how many are at his main.
I was just looking at that and wondering if he was a little concerned about a Hellion run by, and maybe that's why he was keeping it oversaturated, but it is... Oh,
I hope he's got a reason
It's a little over
for
the
it.
top. Yeah, it's a little over the top.
There was like double the number of drones at his expansion as there was at his main.
Yeah, I think he's just noticing that. He sent 2 back from his natural to his main. But, I mean, 2's not enough. He's actually still oversaturated at this...
Yeah, extremely.
Yeah, he's got 24 just on the minerals alone. So, overdoing a little, but look at the... we do see some units now moving out, and it looks like it is a medevac with 4 Blue Flame Hellions. So, this could be pretty scary for Machine.
No Marines this time, though.
He's got that Baneling nest in the back, but there's not too much else to provide a choke for him. But no, I wonder if he's using the Marines to take down the 3rd rocks right now, and QXC really intends on making this somewhat of a macro game. He's just using this to slow down Machine's macro play while he expands behind it. He's got a command center. It's halfway done.
Oh, here comes the drop. The Blue Flames. They're toasted.
And a lot of Zerglings going down there. He is going to see the Spire even and get that timing down absolutely perfectly. So Baneling's trying to pop there on those Hellions, but lifting them up into the medevac. And look at the health on all those Hellions.
So close. I think the Baneling exploded, and then like the medevac picked up the Hellion before it dealt any damage to it. That was pretty crazy.
It was just perfect. So a lot of Zerglings dead now for Machine, and that's never good on this map because you've got these rocks that you have to break down, and you need Zerglings to break them down. You can't just be popping your Banelings on them. And now he doesn't have a lot of Zerglings, and he's gonna want to take these Zerglings that he has just completed, and he's gonna want to go break down these rocks. Except there's a push coming out the middle of the map from QXC, so
I don't see this push from QXC doing terribly a lot of damage. Like Machine is playing so safe. He's got plenty of units.
Yeah, once again, I wonder if we're going to see something similar to what we saw last game, where QXC, pushed out in the middle of the map, like he should have, but then he should have turned around and gone home after he forced all the units, but now QXC's standing to lose, all of these units, which is exactly what's going to happen. And you're absolutely right about that, Eon. That was very easily cleaned up by Machine.
So Machine's playstyle actually paying off quite well there. QXC being a little too over-aggressive and paid for it with that attack. And now Machine is in a really strong position. He's well ahead in the harvester count by 10. Decent supply lead. He's going to have mutas out. And it looks like QXC is going to get his 3rd down though first, which is actually going to be pretty nice for him.
It looks like QXC was being a little indecisive there as to whether he wants to lay down this 3rd. And I think, he is opting to lay it down, I guess because Zerglings and whatnot. But you say Machine's ahead, and I got to agree with you in some respects there. And Machine's got this opportunity to hit a fantastic timing if he wants to turn this into an aggressive, if he wants to get aggressive, because he killed all of those units, and that's going to put QXC really far behind in his unit count, which is why we see this, he's still at a 10 food deficit right now. But look at the harvester count. It's 50 to 54. QXC is producing SCVs out of three command centers right now, and all of them are orbitals, so he's dropping tons of mules. And, I mean, his income, he's 600 minerals ahead right now, and equal on gas.
Yeah, looks like Machine is going to try and bust this expansion down there. He's getting scouted out by those Vikings and making some banelings. Going to try and go in there for an attack.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, he's trying to go for this timing. And I'm worried, you know, if he doesn't hit something with these banelings, he's going to get turned around pretty quickly. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. Not too successful of a hit there for Machine. Now he's below in food.
Yeah, some more reinforcements are coming. Some more Zerglings, some more Mutalisks coming in. I think he kept most of those Mutalisks alive, so that's not too bad. Making more banelings and going in for another attack here pretty soon.
Yeah, if you look down to the left, QXC does have a good amount of Marines left over, though. And I'm looking at Machine. He's only morphing in 2 banelings at this point. So this was the attack that Machine needed to do a lot of damage with, that he didn't do a lot of damage with. QXC, you know, he had this 3rd down way before Machine's. He is trying to take a fast 4th to compensate, but he had a superior army to QXC, like no doubt about it. And QXC only had 1 bunker over by this 3rd, and he really could have done a lot of damage if he had, I think if he had handled his units a little bit better, but now he's in this position where he's exactly equal in worker count, and QXC, you know, I think we're back in an even game at this point, I think is where we're at.
Yep. Machine does have that 1 macro hatch. He's going to be up on 5 hatches. Just made a whole heap of drones, so he's going to be able to saturate both of those new bases really quickly here. So he's going to... I think, a timing here where QXC could actually apply some pressure to Machine and, you know, maybe catch him off guard here for a second.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely the case. While he's droning, making all these workers, he's not going to be producing the military. I do think he feels a little comfortable because he killed a lot of QXC's units. And yeah, he lost his own, but he not only did he kill QXC's army, but he killed a good amount of units in QXC's base as well. So if we see a push out from QXC, I mean, his siege tank count right now is 2. It is 2 siege tanks. So the only thing that's going to be doing any damage are going to be those Marines. And, you know, if we see Machine decide to morph out a ton of banelings, he does have baneling speed at this point, and he's got great... one thing I got to commend Machine on right now is his fantastic creep spread out towards the middle of the map. And if QXC tries to push with that gigantic Marine ball and a massive quantity of 2 tanks, he's going to get shut down.
Yeah. He's macroing up pretty well. He's taking up to Hive, making 16 drones, getting that pathogen glands upgrade, getting some nice upgrades, +2/+2 for Zerglings. So definitely doing well in the upgrade department. As far as QXC is at 1/1. He's working on his +2 attack for his infantry and his +1 attack for his mech. But it looks like QXC is going to go for a push out here, and let's see if he's going to catch these Mutalisks off guard. Doesn't look like it. What time are you at right now?
We're looking at 18:20 coming up on the mark. Just make sure you're looking, you know, at the same screen that I'm looking at. I think, you know, the speed of light could mess that up a little bit, but as I hear, it's pretty quick, so it shouldn't cause too much of a distortion in what we're both seeing. But I don't know about you, but I'm seeing QXC getting a little aggressive where I don't know he should be. It's a little late to be aggressive.
Look at the supply. Now. He's way ahead of Machine.
Yeah, you know what? 153 to 196.
Whenever you're Terran
I'm wondering where his army's at. That does not look like a 200 pop army. 126 to 73. He's got units in every one of his bunkers actually. So there's a lot of pop tied up there, and then he's got 2 Thor and a good quantity of Marines heading down towards the 4th. But wow, tons of banelings killing out all of those Marines and bunching up those mutas. That is not what Machine wanted to do there. And yeah, one thing, Eon, I gotta commend you on there is you were absolutely right about QXC devastating that army.
Yeah, those muta all bunched up. That Thor just crushed them. That was
really poor unit control.
Yeah, nice fungals and the banelings though. I mean, he killed quite a few Marines. He just didn't have enough. Made a lot of Zerglings. Wow, how many Zerglings is that? That's like, he's got like almost 100 Zerglings out right now.
Yeah, looking at the units count, he's got 71 Zerglings on the map, 85 drones to 64. That's a pretty good place for a Zerg player to be. I really like how QXC, you know, I was talking about how he had some of his army back. Now look, it's actually out of position. I was going to compliment on him how QXC anticipated the counterattack and actually moved 2 Thor and a good little ball of Marines. I don't know about Machine engaging this army, though.
Get some fungals down on some SCVs, but it looks like that planetary is going to get canceled and lifted up, and these Zerglings are going to get trapped here, walking through a meat grinder. Ouch.
The scan going down. One infestor picked off. May he scan for the second one? No, he will not. I'd really like to see an additional hatchery out right now for a machine. It looks like he tried to take one. Do you see QXC's drop in the top right now?
Yeah, it's on its way.
I wonder that... Oh, these Zerglings are actually already on their way back. That's what I was just thinking. This could do some good damage, but Zerglings already headed back up to deal with this, and some Mutalisks in good position too. But simultaneously, QXC is using that drop to bait Machine's army away from his army that is moving down in the bottom left. But look at the pathing. These Marines getting all clumped up, and that's going to slow things down for him a bit.
They're having some fun in the little jungle over there next to that tree.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not playing League of Legends here, guys. You're not Master Yi. You got a gun in your hands, so you should get in front of these siege tanks and play a little defense.
Supply still favoring QXC, at least for the time being, up by 5. Tanks are sieged up, and it looks like these Broodlords are going to lead the charge. Scan going to go down. QXC's going to see all what's up there. He does not have any Vikings, though.
These Marines hiding in the back look like they're going to stem and try to come up to the front. Great job, you know, avoiding the fungals, but now getting hit by them, in fact. I did like how he had the Marines sitting in back there, you know, but really didn't pay off for him like I think he hoped.
There are so many red Marines there.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's crazy. He only has 1 medevacs. She's going to work overtime to heal all those guys up.
Yeah. Some more taxes need to be redirected to healthcare for those guys. Feeling pretty bad for them right now. I don't see that. I mean, if you get like 1 or 2 real plays, and then I'm excited to see, you know, as SC2 continues to evolve, you'll see things like players, you know, sending down 2 infestors after that big fight to come down here and fungal and just poke and kill all these Marines, you know?
Yeah. A lot of upgrades going for QXC. He's got +3 attack for mech, +3 armor, +3 attack for bio. He's going to be 3-3-3 here in a second.
Once you get those Marines to 3-3-3, that's when things can really start to get out of control for a Terran player. But wow, there are the fungals that Machine needed, and I think these Broodlords should be able to clean pretty much all of this up. Actually, a lot of Marines left over, and I was not anticipating that. Look, 3 Broodlords going down, a 4th one now, and just barely not getting all of these, but I don't know, that...
That was a weird fight. I don't really know who came out ahead there. I think Machine did.
But that's because you're looking at the food count.
Yeah, that's it. Like, he's ahead.
Yeah, like, I feel like he lost a lot of Broodlords there.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the best.
And Infestors, lost a lot.
QXC's way ahead in the economy. He's up, like, mining about 3,000 now with all his mules. He's up on 4 bases. But Machine is on 5. He almost lost that hatchery in that bottom left there. It's really low.
You know, one of the things that we haven't seen out of Machine that we see out of a lot of Zerg players in maps as large as this, is a really over-droning for a certain small portion of the game so that they can get down, you know, a lot of static defenses and just have a good surplus, lay a lot of hatcheries. Like, I'm looking at Machine, and at this point, he still doesn't have an additional hatchery. And if there's anything that's going to kill Machine this game, it's going to be that he hasn't taken an additional expansion since QXC dropped his 3rd.
He could easily take another base. If you look in his main, he's got about, you know, 12 drones on 2 mineral patches. That could easily be split up to an expansion. That's like 4 gas geysers you could have saturated right now.
So now it's almost to the point where we see, you know, Machine going for some sort of an all-in of some sorts. You know, he's got all these Broodlords, but after this, he's not going to be able to make another army that looks like this one.
QXC has a lot of ghosts. He's going to be able to do a lot of sniping.
Yeah, what are the number of ghosts he's got there? That is a good quantity. He's got 9 ghosts, in fact. And if you guys don't know, ghosts are good against infestors. They're good against Broodlords. They're just pretty much good against this unit comp. So I did hear a snipe go down there, but I didn't see one of the Broodlords get hit. Wasn't an infestor, in fact, that died.
Was he sniping Banelings?
I think he was trying to snipe a Broodlord, but in fact, he sniped a Corruptor.
Okay.
And that's not a unit that you want to be using your snipes on. So now all of those infestors are going down. That's what he's opting to snipe on now, but there go the rest of the infestors. All those infestors cleaned up, and that means that there's no anti-air besides for these Corruptors. And Vikings don't do too shoddy of a job against Corruptors. So finally, Do me a favor right now, Eon. Look at the bottom left, right below, like where the creep stops spreading, and look at that little pink ball that you're seeing. That's what I've wanted to see from Machine right now for like the last 10 minutes of this game.
Oh, okay.
Well, finally
Yeah.
we see 2 hatcheries going down for Machine, and that's exactly what he's needed. He needs a way, you know, to continue out this game because QXC's macro is just off the hook. He's sending out another 2 command centers right now.
One thing I'd really like to see out of QXC is put some reactors on those starports. He's kind of been lacking in Medivacs and Vikings this game, and he's got only 2 starports, which allows 2 production instead of like having reactors on there, which would double it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. We do see one with the tech lab, and yeah, both of them have tech labs. Okay, so I was spending that time while you were talking. I was too busy looking. I was trying to find where his starports were, in fact, and they are just in that mess of a Terran thing we call buildings. But now, see, there's that really inferior Viking count that you were just talking about being so easily cleaned up. And, you know, you may have well have not even had those Vikings at all.
Yeah, and losing a couple ghosts there, too.
Does manage to take down one Broodlord. I don't know. Yeah, he lost quite a few ghosts there. Broodlords only are weak to ghosts if the ghosts have supporting units.
And
but taking out this
simultaneous
base could be pretty big for Machine.
He's taking out the base in the bottom left and the top right, but it looks like the Planetary Fortress is going to survive, but the one in the bottom is not going to survive.
Yep, as you say that, it goes down, and now these SCVs are going to be cleaned up. And this is exactly what Machine needs. He's macroing behind this insanely well, and I think, you know, this is the result of him not expanding earlier, but huge fungals going down on all of those Marines, and now these Broodlords are just going to have very little to contend with besides these Ghosts and Marines that are left over.
Yeah, and a lot of Zerglings being produced, 38 of them out, and these Broodlords look like there's going to be too many Broodlords, and they're just going to clean up the rest of this army, and QXC's kind of running out of places to mine from.
Yeah, he's running out of places to hide. I feel like I want to have like a soundboard right next to me with like songs on cue. Nowhere to run to, baby. That's pretty much the situation he's running into. He can't really put command centers anywhere. Machine is just being everywhere on the board right now. Whether it's dropping hatcheries or running Zerglings, I think the only place that's really safe for him at this point is the top right. But, you know, he's just got a Marine going up there.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for Machine right now. He's got so many Zerglings out, so many Broodlords. Corruptor's killing a command center that's kind of like flying around.
Yeah, I'm looking right now at these Banelings, and I'm wondering if QXC loses this command center, it's over. No questions about it. You see comebacks sometimes, but I don't think QXC is going to be able to make one if this. But now, in fact, the Banelings do pull out as QXC realizes, you know, I've got to hold on to this planetary.
Yeah, that's extremely critical, is keeping that planetary alive, because he had enough Banelings just to take it out.
Actually, now I'm taking a look at QXC's other bases, and with, you know, mule drops and how quickly they can just make minerals disappear like we're doing magic tricks or something, QXC's technically running off one base right now.
He's on one base. He does have a lot of ghosts. He really needs to snipe those. Actually, he doesn't have any overseers. I thought he had some overseers with his army, but I guess he doesn't. If he can just cloak and walk on in there and deal a bunch of damage, he could actually
he definitely
have some sort of a comeback.
Here come the oversoars in right now. So maybe you know, if QXC cloaks here, it's kind of like a baited mistake. But Banelings pretty much just devastating everything at this point, even wasting Banelings on the siege tanks. That's pretty much like a Manor Hatchery, except, oh, I forgot to bring my drones with me today.
And, oh, ghosts just screaming for their lives as they're getting killed off.
Yeah, the Broodlords are just like, you know, we don't feel like dealing with you and your fancy Harry Potter invisibility cloaks. I know that your only lifeline is this command center, and it's about to fall, Eon. I don't think it's going to make it out of this alive.
No, it's falling so quickly, and those little Broodlings have 3/3 upgrades, so they're not too shabby themselves.
So, I was criticizing Machine earlier on a lack of expanding, you know, behind this pretty heavy, aggressive playstyle. What do you think happened here? I mean, I really thought, you know, if that attack didn't work and it came to somewhat of an even trade, I felt like he was going to be out of it with how great QXC was expanding, but what do you think did it for him? And there's the GG from QXC as I say that.
I think Machine just his play style paid off for him. He was playing really safe. He was just sticking to what was he on, like 4 base there for a while. Just stuck to that for quite a long time. Actually, 4 or 5 base. Just stuck to that for quite a long time. Waited to win a fight, and then he's like, okay, I want to fight. I feel safe. I'm gonna put down 2 expansions.
Yeah,
And
that's a great point actually. They're mentioning the winning of a fight because on a map as big as Tal'Darim Altar, I know as a I play Zerg a lot, and as when I play against Terran players on this map, a good Terran player, if you expand too much, they just kill you with drops.
yeah, you can't be everywhere at once. And QXC known for his drop, so you know, I think Machine kind of not expanding as quickly. I mean, he was planning to do it. He eventually did it, but I think just kind of slowing it down a little bit worked pretty well against QXC because QXC really gets his. I don't know. It seems like whenever he plays, he loves dropping. He just gets really motivated by a really successful drop. He just keeps doing it, and it kind of just snowballs, and him just destroying a player.
Yeah, so definitely a great play out of there by Machine. Out of both players, in fact, but Machine getting the better end of it, and now we're gonna move on to game one between these two guys. That was kind of cool to say. I don't think I'll ever be saying that one again, but
It's backwards day.
remember to look at the. See, I hate looking at the chat before a game because you know who won, but now it's like you gotta see if they say stuff like that. Good luck in rest of the tournament. You're like, ah. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you in game one, and this is Kibbles and Bits, and you're not doing it.
What is that? My cue?
That's all right. It's our first match we've casted together. Still learning to work with each other a bit, but thanks, guys. We'll see you at game one. This is Kibbles and Bits.
And EonShiKeno.
We'll see you guys there. That was funny.